Hi and welcome back to the course. In this video, we're going to test that our app works up until now. And that's mainly because the last video was getting pretty long, so I didn't want to make it too rough on you. What we've got here is the folder of this section, and in it we have the code and the virtual environment. Now, there's a data.db there which I'm going to remove just to make sure that things are clear. Now, what we can do is we can run Python, the command Python code/create tables. And what that does is that creates the tables and the data.db file in the current folder. So not inside the code folder. Now that is fine, as long as we then do Python code/app.py. If we go into the code folder and then run app.py, then things are going to start getting messy, because the app is going to think that data.db is within the directory in which it ran. And data.db is not inside the code directory, it's in the directory above it. So as you will see, if we go into Postman at this point and try to, for example, register, we'll get an error saying that the table users doesn't exist because of exactly what I just said. And as you can see, we get an error here on the terminal as well. So what we have to do is to make sure that wherever we create data.db, we make sure that we run our app from that folder as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the section folder which has the code, data.db and VM. And now we have to choose to either remove data.db, go into the code folder, and run the create tables here, which then creates data.db in this folder. And then we can do run app.py. And as you will see, this will work. We can now register. Or another option is for us to remove data.db there, go to the parent folder, run Python /code create tables, and then run Python code app.py. And then when we go to Postman, you'll see that we can also register. It doesn't give us the error where the table's not found. Okay, so you have to choose one of the two. Either run both commands on the parent folder or run both commands on the code folder, but not one on each folder, because then it won't be able to find where the SQLite file is. Okay? Just wanted to make that clear. And now we can see that we can indeed register, which is good. Let's see if we can authenticate. And indeed we can. And remember, we've not really changed how the code works. We're still sending in the body with JSON, username and password. We're still registering in the same way. Now let's get the items, which should be empty. And indeed it is. Let's post another item. I'm going to put in a phone. Very cheap phone, $15.99. And that seems to be there. Let's retrieve the items again. And the item seems to contain the phone. Now let's get the specific phone. And as you can see, it tells me that the signature has expired because the get in the item requires a JWT. So I'm going to make sure to go in there and put it in. And then we get the phone back. Now we're going to delete the phone. And this seems to work as well. And finally, we're going to put a new phone in, and that seems to work. And then we're going to change the price, and that also seems to work. And once again, if we get the items, we see that the phone is there. And then we can delete it again. Okay, so everything so far seems to work. And make sure that it does for you as well. Because as we move code around and as we refactor the code and improve it, things are bound to break, and we want to make sure that we catch things that break quickly so that we can fix them before we've written so much new code that we don't know where to start fixing. Okay? And also, now that we're here, we might as well also duplicate the section 5, edit it, and call it section 6. because once again, we're going to be including a few new things as well. Okay, in the next video, we're going to look a bit more into Postman, just to make life a bit easier for you. And then we'll move on into coding on the following video after that. So I'll see you in the next one.